Hi, so for this week 5 project, I chose to just kind of write my thoughts after sitting outside for a bit. I have the fortune to live in an area that's pretty removed from the major hub of the city, and so I took advantage of that so that I could just admire the stars and the sky. So, without further ado, I shall begin. I have the fortune to live in an area that is several miles away from the light pollution of the city. On a clear night, there's no need for street lamps, and the stars are so numerous that they light any path I may tread. In the light of a full moon, acres of land are aglow. As I gaze at the night sky, I am reminded of the improbability that I would be here, clinging to a rock, hurtling through space at ludicrous speeds, and a relatively minor part of the Milky Way. What a wonder it is to be alive, especially in consideration of the vastness of space. My ego and my idea of who I am, while so informed by the whims of culture, society, friends, and family, seem somehow so insignificant when held to the majesty that is the universe. Even more so when considering the vast unknowable magnitude of said universe. And somehow, against all odds, we're here now, and with the ability to be aware of just how little we are aware. The greatest knowledge in the world is the knowledge that we know so very little. So, what does this have to do with nature and with the environment? Is a question that might arise at this point, and rightly so. But I believe that it has everything to do with it. The knowledge that we are so insignificant, so minuscule, highlights the beauty of such an improbable existence. Even more relevant, we have conscious awareness of the awe-inspiring breadth of the galaxy, of the universe, due to the conditions on our planet. For example, we as humans require oxygen. Without plant life, such as algae, the oh so important breath of life could not be possible. The importance of breath is found in almost all cultures, um, religions, and societies. How then can we possibly consider ourselves separate from the nature which sustains us? We are as much a product of nature as we are a part of nature. To be apart from nature would be to be apart from life, for nature is nothing if not the flourishing of life. To look at the stars is to see the very soul of nature, and to look at the planet is to see the very body of nature, if you will pardon the abstract and poetical speech. And as my gaze shifts downward, I see the grass. As my gaze shifts downward, I see the earth upon which I kneel. I see the blades of grass rising up to greet the sky, and I feel the soil giving way to the weight of my body. I am reminded that I can only be here today because the earth supports my steps. I can only breathe in the oxygen that sustains me because our environment produces it. Everything I have and everything I am is a product of nature. To presume that I am separate from nature feels, to me, awfully ungrateful, hubristic, and unaware. When considering whether people are a part of nature or separate from it, I can't help but think of a tree. The leaves of a tree are no more separate from the tree than the clouds are separated from the sky. Why, then, is there the question of whether human beings are separate from nature? We did not appear on earth. We grew from it, in the same way a leaf grows from a tree. Even when fall comes and the leaves fall, they return to the earth. They provide nutrients that are absolutely integral for plant growth and shelter for various insects and wildlife. Those leaves are critical to nature and for its continuance. A body, when decomposing, provides similar benefits to the earth. The death of the ego is not the death of life in the body. Bacteria, for example, are alive and well in a body after the death of the human spark. I find it interesting to consider that when we prepare a body for posthumous preservation, the very processes make it almost toxic to the earth. But that is neither here nor there. As mentioned above, as mentioned earlier, I believe that nature is nothing if not the flourishing of life. The human spirit is simply one side of the multifaceted embodiment of nature. I think the idea that we may be apart from nature stems from the same ideology as the idea that any one race, any one country, or any one group has some form of manifest destiny. And from the idea that we're chosen or that we're special. And perhaps we are indeed special. But if we are special, it is because of nature and not in spite of it. The cosmos that surrounds us and the earth upon which we stand are fantastic, wondrous, and magnificent. As products of these, it is not so far a stretch to presume that we are fantastic, wondrous, and magnificent, or at least have the capacity to be as such. But to grant ourselves that grace, we must, in the interest of fairness, extend this grace to the animals, the insects, the plants, and the sky. For though we may be different from these forms of life, from these forms of nature, we are not separate from them. We are as we are because of them. So yeah, yep, that was it. Thank you for coming to my nature talk.